Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, super fantastic family. Today is Friday, April 24, 2020. Yours truly, Raven 98 here, along with.
Right. Good morning, TNT. It is another fantastic Friday. And I can say fantastic because it seems like every other Friday. But anyway, every day is Friday. So just for you guys get started, me and a couple of my friends, we got this thing that happens when people retire. We tell them they now got 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. Because every day is like Saturday once you retire, except for Sunday, right? And now we go around people saying, what day is it? What time is it? I said, I guess everybody got 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. Because people are out in the streets doing things that you're not supposed to be out in the streets. But how would I know unless I was out there with them? But anyway, they are enjoying life. Weather's turning. It's going to be good. All right, good things ahead. All right, so Ray, you see anything out yesterday?
Sir. Nothing went out.
Let's go with it. Nothing went out?
Nope.
Okay, I heard you say yes, sir, and nothing went out. Okay. So one thing went out.
Well, nothing went out. No, no, sir, nothing went out.
No. Yes, sir, something did go out. It's okay.
Anyway.
It's the stability and necessity of the dollar in Iraq. I sent you guys out an article yesterday, right?
Right.
I don't know if it got put in the form. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to get it together anyway. Which is a good article just to try to bring some reality to where we are and where Iraq is in relationship to their currency and to the auctions itself, and why we see the auctions occurring with no cash. Because every time you say they had auctions, 140 million, 136 million, whatever, but no cash because of the dollar. All right. The most prominent thing that happened yesterday was that the designated prime minister threatened to quit yesterday. I didn't send you guys that article. I didn't tell you it was on TV or they had a meeting. So I didn't want you getting depressed that he is threatening to quit, which could mean they're that much farther apart and actually taking the route. But we'll see what happens. He did threaten to quit yesterday. He announced it to the Shiites, told them that this was too much pressure being applied to him. He didn't want to end up like the last 2 prime ministers and not get a vote. So he would just go ahead and quit now. He didn't, which was good for him. I'm not sure we want to see all that drama, but he is getting to that point where he can. Today they're saying there's more agreement. They are agreeing on people. We did submit the names again, but we still won't know until Tuesday if they're going to schedule a vote. Because they're saying it can still happen by the end of the month. All right. Now, I was confused on the end of his month, 30 days. Was it the 9th or the 12th? I couldn't remember. But today they came out and said he has till the 9th. So we know May the 9th is the final day as far as this is concerned. And we'll move on. So I can wait till you guys ask the questions. As a matter of fact, I will if it even comes up before I get into anything else. But other than that, I think we're just still right there waiting. Nobody's at the bank. Unfortunately, there's no call centers, no exchange centers. There's nobody even discussing it. They're not having meetings, not having phone calls. People are not on standby because we don't know where we're at yet. Iraq did move their curfew from the 23rd What's it? To May the 15th, I think. But they did move it, so it is running into. Other than that, let's go, Ray. Let's see what comes up. Okay.
I heard the unmuted, but I didn't hear Ray. This is 404.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
404.
I didn't hear the questions. Did we skip questions?
I was saying,
you don't have any.
You didn't hear me. I was saying there's no questions on the board, so we'll go straight to the live folks.
Oh, okay.
I thought my mic was on. It was turned off. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So 404.
I didn't want to.
You're on.
I didn't want to preempt you guys here. No, the fact that there are no questions posted written, it feels like we are getting questions out. It's sort of what else can possibly happen? I always keep calling it kabuki theater because it appears that because the Prime Minister designate did kind of make the threaten of I just will go ahead and submit my resignation, my apology, may have jolted people a little bit because there have been some other things coming back of like they're wanting to sing Kumbaya and get this thing done. But Tuesday does appear to be, though, when they are deciding when they're going to vote, they're not going to take the vote. Or do you think, or are your sources saying that they may come in and decide we're going to take our vote right now and get this thing over with, or that they have to do it toward the end of next week? Have they made any indication on that?
None. But they have to designate a date first in time. Now, Tuesday morning they could say today's the date and let's do it Tuesday evening. I mean, we all hope that it would go like that, but it's not scheduled for that, and I don't think they would. Maybe a Tuesday, Thursday might work. Because last time they did that, 2 days later, okay, we're going to take the vote, and they still didn't take it. But let's see what happens this time.
And with respect, I know that the demonstrators had been a little bit curtailed because of the pandemic situation over there as well, but that they were starting to kind of get their act together to be saying if we don't get our way, you're going to hear from us. But have there been any other retraining sessions, as it were, with respect to the currency to try to, if nothing else, allay the anger and everything of reminding people that, you will have buying power and here's how we will do it and, the steps to follow. Are they doing that, or is that, again, a thing of the past?
They're not doing that. They're not pumping the people up like some of our gurus are doing here. They're not lying to them, telling them it's going to happen next week or next month. The economy is going to change. In fact, they're doing just the opposite of that, explaining to them why things are so bad, where it can look to go, and here are a couple ways that we can fix it, and we're trying to figure out which is the best one. That's what they are doing to fix it right now. They're explaining to them it's not just all the things we've done wrong, and we have, and it goes back to, which I don't know how, just to 2014, and saying we're corrupt. They listed 70 new names that are corrupt that they started investigating last week. So they're doing all those things, and they're saying these are our options to make it better, which none of them are good.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to see. But they're also saying it has to end sometime. But they're saying, we've got to change it sometime. Why not now? I mean, we cannot go on like this forever, is what they're saying in several articles. So now's the time. It's going to be like anything else. You're going to feel some pain, but that's the only way that we gain is through this. And
well, we'll get.
You got to realize, huh?
Yeah. Well, we'll get through this, and then we know that once we are through this, that's when you guys are going to say, and ta-ta, this is the date for the TNT Super Fantastic Pay It Forward project. And, of course, at this point, it looks like it's going to be in May, but May brings great weather, so let's have this, and it will be our May day over in there. We appreciate it so much. I really hope this is our finale call and that you guys are going to be back with a pre-recorded call saying here are all the numbers and everything, and that's our weekend. So that's your assignment should you choose to accept it.
Well, let me just say this to you. Keep hope alive. Thank you.
Yes. yes, indeed. We will certainly do so. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Appreciate your continued tenacity. Appreciate it. Have a great one.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
281 area code, you are on.
Well, hello, Ray. Hello, Tony.
Hi there.
How you guys doing?
Hey.
I'm
super
fantabulous, to
fantastic.
the nth degree.
Well, good.
And yourself?
Well, I'm good. Well, I had a question for you, Tony. I know since the coronavirus is going around, have this made a difference in the gatherings, I guess, that we had planned to have, like in Vegas and all that kind of once this is over? Are you planning to still do that, like maybe later in the year or something, once we know more about how this virus works, or is that going to be called off totally?
I want to do it, but we're probably not. I don't care if the RV happened tomorrow. The way things are right now in the world, I wouldn't think we'd be able to do it until next year, period, if everybody still wants to do it. Now, simply because the rest of the states have already said no large sporting events, period. No NBA, no MLB, no NFL, not this year. It's not going to happen because we don't know when this is going to be over with. Maybe June or July, August, September. October's coming right back because it's the winter months again. So we're only going to get a break until they get a cure. So nobody sees that. I don't see anywhere where we could put 10,000 people. And actually we had 8,000 something, but I'm sure after it happens, I'll probably have 10,000 people who want to meet and be a part of the big celebration. But even the smaller ones that I was going to do around the country are 1,500 to 2,000 people. And there's no city letting right now more than 10 people gather in the area for 100. So it's going to be based on that, if nothing else. And then, you know, how you guys feel. People still want to be in a room together with that many people. Does the virus scare it all off? I would love to do it. I think you guys deserve it. I still want to be part of it. I still have things I want to say to you and give to you. So we'll just see how it turns out. If not, one thing you guys can guarantee, there'll be a lot of Bentleys sitting in my yard because I couldn't get them away.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, I don't see it until next year sometime either because, like you say, we don't know what's going to happen with this virus stuff. And I know I got new rules and things that I'm going to put in place at my house when people come here, too. So I could only imagine gathering in a large group like that. So, okay. Well, thank you. That was my question. I don't have any other questions today.
All right.
And you guys have a good weekend. All right.
All right, you too.
Okay, thank you. All right, 281 again, area code.
Hey, good morning. How you all doing?
Hi. Fantabulous.
Super fantastic.
And
That's
yourself?
lovely. I'm great. Thank you.
Good.
Well, this time I have questions.
Okay,
so,
that's what's supposed to happen.
Right. Last time I thought I put my hand down.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Tony, how's it going?
I'm super fantastic. How are you doing?
You know, I could tell you I'm jazzing. But listen, can you just reiterate back to me, if they don't pick a prime minister this time, so what are they going to do with the government, or will the president be able to just pick who he wants and be done with it?
My understanding is that they don't pick somebody this time, then the prime minister has 60 days to declare a new election. My understanding is they will all lose years. He will wipe out parliament to our government because they couldn't come to an agreement, and then reelect all of the officials, which is going to be chaos in and of itself. But
Correct.
we'll see what happens. And then they have 60 days to do that. Nobody wants to go there, and they know, because that's like going all the way back to 2003, where the U.S. was first putting their government together. Nobody wants to go there, trust me. So
Yeah.
they are talking about it. They realize it. And again, articles today, yesterday are saying, you know, we're playing with fire here. We're getting dangerously close. I mean, those types of things, but they know it. So I foresee them having some kind of agreement, but they're going to argue right to the last minute because that's what they do.
Right. Yeah, because, it was so chaotic when I was over there in 2006 to 2009. It was a hot mess over there. And so I can just imagine what could go wrong and what could happen. But if that was to occur, then we don't even know where we would be with anything then. So to an agreement and things start to take place, where do you see us after that, in your opinion?
Okay. Let's say on May the 9th, because I'm going to stretch it all the way out instead of next Tuesday or Thursday. On May the 9th, they have a vote, and the vote passes, and they now have a new prime minister, and he has his cabinet. They still need a budget. Now, the good thing is they're working on the budget right now. They decided we're not going to wait until May the 9th to work on the budget. We're going to do it now. They put out articles. We're going to do an adjustment to the 2020 budget because we did it at $56. We're going to redo it at $30. That's the article I sent you guys the other day so everybody can see it. This is the price they've decided to do their budget at, $30 a barrel, even though oil is currently at $20 a barrel. And I don't even know what it is today. I got to wait for Danny to come on tell me. But they're going to use the $30 price because they figure they can get back to $30 by the end of the year. Anyway, so they're going to use that. Cut out with other programs. They still have to do it, make the adjustments. It still has to be submitted by the new prime minister. They still have to vote on it, put it in law before it can become law, which they figured would take 30 days. Now, it could be 30 days from the 9th if they waited, or 30 days from last week if they already started doing it, and they could get it done probably in the middle of May. But that just does the budget for them, and they have to decide. Will it do the rate for us? Is it what we want? Because that doesn't mean oil is back at $30 yet, which they hope it will be. It's definitely not going to be back at $56, which we want to be in our rate to be $3.61. But remember this, guys, at $56 in the rate of $3.61, they were going to have a lot of surplus money. So they didn't really need the entire $56 to get to 31. And that's why I say between 30 and 40 could probably still give us our rate. But will we see that by the end of May? I don't know. First part of June, depends on when they submit that budget. It could, in fact, happen. Now, all that is being positive, which I think is a good thing, and it could work that way. But every solution that they've come out with in the last 2 days has been to reduce the value of the dinar. in order for them to do the things they need to do. So I don't know if you guys are seeing that or not. So if we're at 1180, 1160 for the dinar now, they're talking about going to 1200 something dinar per dollar, and the max is said so far as 1500 dinar to every dollar to try to survive what they're going through because they're 90% oil. So they're saying we can't get any more oil. We reduce the number of barrels that we're going to do. So all we can do is reduce the value of the money and still charge the same price. And there's a whole history behind that. You guys look at it. How reducing the value of the money, cutting the imports, the exports, using their own internal products and services, still make it work without sending everybody into poverty, even though their money is worth less in country. They think we will respect it more if they do that, so they won't lose international influence or worth to their money by doing that. It's a tricky process. Don't know if they can get it done. They just started talking about it 2-3 days ago. And you really got to know the numbers to make it work. So that's where we're going to be. Okay?
But we are still getting the contract rate, though, right?
The contract rate, I think, will go untouched, again, because it is a contract. It's not based on the price of oil.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because I didn't think about it till I had said my questions had been answered Wednesday. I was letting Mr. Ray know that some friends of mine and they were going still to the bank and buying the Vietnamese dome, but it's at $38 plus still the $7 2-day shipping. And when I talked to them this morning, they were getting some more. And down here in Georgia, they're letting, instead of making appointments, they're letting people stand outside the bank now, and they're letting them come in so many at a time. And then you have to stand outside, start it today, and they letting them come inside again. See, I guess because of what that governor did. And I said they can go in all they want to. Look, me, I'm not going in. The wife with the husband not going in. The wife with the husband not going outside.
Listen, what about talking about Texas? Because, you know, they're on a whole different level by themselves mentally. I got to put Georgia below Texas now. I mean, what they're doing and the chances they're taking, looking at everybody else, unless people just don't believe it, then okay. But that's really just not making sense to me. You know what I really found funny about the whole thing, guys, is I'll tell you guys how I felt about it, that they're being used as lab rats or guinea pigs or, you know, just cleansing of their own economy, because they're just sending, you know, those individuals out there. But I heard that not even during our call, but so much after our call and on the news and on the internet and on Facebook, and people are feeling the same way. Why are you doing this? But yet, why are the people even going for this? Why are you going to go out there and do that? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me when the numbers are continuing to climb in Georgia. Why would you do that? I could see if Georgia was like Wisconsin or Idaho or somewhere, and they said, well, we only got 100 cases in the whole state, or, you know, so we're really not that concerned. But your numbers are climbing, not going down, and you're putting people at risk, and even more than that, they're going out there, taking the chance. I don't know if my life is worth a couple of dollars or not, you know. I would think it's worth a couple $1 million, $1 billion. But anyway, I guess people are doing what they have to do, what they want to do. But I think that's a mistake. Like so many other people that you hear, I think that's the wrong thing to do. I feel sorry for those who have to go out there and do that, intensely working every day, being involved in it. So, with that said, There are other things that are going to be involved in the RV itself, whether Iraq can do everything it wants to do, but in the end, the coronavirus will control when the RV occurs, because it's when the global economy opens back up and we can take advantage of it and help use it. So we can monitor it, and most people right now don't think that's going to happen until sometime in June anyway. So this is falling right into the timeline where we should be able to go out there and take advantage of it if it does happen. All right?
Okay. You know you're talking about Texas. That's but I'm in Georgia. But it's all
I do
good.
talk about Texas. I talked about Texas for years because you know how backward ass they are or ass backwards they are or something. But anyway, on top of that, but this thing that Georgia is doing just doesn't make sense to anybody. Well, not to me anyway.
I told my husband that the wife with the husband is going to stay her behind in the house. I'm not crazy. And I told my children here and in Texas, stay your butts in the house. So look,
okay, let me ask you a question. Did you tell the wife with the husband to stay in the house?
I told myself to stay my butt in the house. But I'm not in the house right now. I got to go pay them.
Okay.
I'll be blessed, be encouraged. I love you all. Have a great day.
All right,
Okay.
you too. Thank
you.
Have a great weekend. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. 386 area code. You are on.
Good morning, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm super fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just great. Staying at home, no coronavirus. Our little town is almost free of the virus. So we're doing good. And we're in Florida.
Okay. All right. Good.
Hey, Tony, this question is for you.
All right.
How is everything as far as all the currencies go? Are they still the same as they used to be a couple of months ago? Have anything changed?
Has any of the rates changed or any of the currencies changed?
Right.
I haven't gotten
the rates.
any information on the rates because they can't see the rates. They're saying we can't see them. They're not on the screen. So I know nobody's going to RV today, tomorrow, next day. So that part really hasn't changed, I guess, because we haven't seen it anywhere. Nobody's telling us about it.
So you're saying from the last few months, the rates that were on the screen are probably the same?
I'm saying they're either going to be, there could be a change to them because the price of oil has changed, which has changed everything since they were based on the price of oil. We just don't know if what Iraq is doing right now, like they're saying, hey, we're still going to do this budget at $30, and that's what we're going to base it on, $30. What rate do we get at $30 is the question. Was the $30 rate going to be the $40 rate? If it changes, does it go from $3.61 to $3.20 or $2.80? I don't know yet because nobody has seen it. Nobody in the background knows because we don't know where the economy is going to be. The only thing I can tell you that I feel is correct is that the contract rate is still going to be the contract rate regardless. Because it didn't matter if it came out at $3, $4, or $8, the contract rate was still the same. So I don't see that changing.
Okay, and how soon do you think, either Ray or you can answer, how long do you think it'll be before we end up with the RV, an idea?
Before we actually have an RV. I don't know, I'll tell you the only thing I can see is sometime in the end of May, first part of June. That's all I can see.
And Ray, what do you think?
Right after the virus is no longer an issue.
Okay, and if the virus is an issue for another 5 months, it won't be for 5 months.
That's
Is that
my
what you're
thought.
saying?
That's my
All right.
thought.
Okay.
But time will tell. We just have to play it out day by day and see what happens, and see how the advancements come in.
Yep, that's for sure. That's what we're going to have to do, because the economy has got to get better. Okay, gentlemen, God bless you.
The country
and
has to open up, but not just our country. The world has to open. All the countries have to be open and functioning. Because, again, just like I've explained to you guys, we can't have an RV on the East Coast and not have one on the West Coast. How would that work? We can't have an RV and announce it here in the U.S. and not announce it in England and China and Mexico and Canada. How would that work? It wouldn't.
Right.
It has to be something that's global, and everybody's going to have to be able to get involved in it at the same time for it to really work. Even when, these idiots keep telling you guys that the RV has started in Hong Kong already. Well, wherever else they're saying it started yesterday, it started last week, it started last month, and we haven't seen it yet because it hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen until it's available for everyone to be involved in it. Okay, go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
All right. 972 area code. You're on.
Hey, fellas, Danny in Dallas.
Danny.
Dallas, would that be in Texas? Oh, okay.
That would be in Texas, yes, sir. I was proud to hear you say that Texas was elevated by one. That's good.
Yes, it is. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I got some encouraging words in general, but I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago, I mentioned we were talking about ways that we were going to try to bless the community where we are and that sort of thing. And I mentioned a little family restaurant that's a truck stop. It's down on the south end of town and stays pretty busy normally, but they have been closed now for 3 weeks. They did a little takeout for a while, and it is dormant. So it will not be it will not be anything except perhaps a revival, which is disappointing. But that's what's happening all over this nation right now. I just look forward to helping them come back to life. Now, there's going to be lots of targets that we'll be able to deal with in that type of a scenario. Let me give you a real quick oil price. Right now it is $16.85. It hasn't varied much all day, but I don't know that things are going to change significantly. At a point yesterday it was up in the 20s, but we still got too much oil to burn. So that's all I got for today. All my questions have been answered, and that's about all I can say.
Danny, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
My son was telling me the other day a place that we go eat breakfast at, which I thought they gave you way too much food anyway. It's one of those type places. They just pile on your plate knowing ain't no way in the world you can eat all this food. But you will come back the next day. We do know that. Or again, because of that. And they've been closed, just like you said, and today is Friday. On Monday, they announced that they're not going to open back up. Said we're done. We did it as long as we could. Been here for 38 years. We can't do it anymore. So now, as of Monday, they are permanently closed, moving out the shop, which we got to think about that. Look at how many, just like you're saying, across the country who thought this was going to be temporary and it's going to be permanent. So not only did they lose their business, but all the employees lost their jobs now. They're not just laid off or furloughed. They have no job to come back to. So we see that, and it's going to affect our economy. Same thing with the price of oil. We're looking at it because there's a glutton. There's no way, even with OPEC saying, hey, we made an agreement on Tuesday that we're going to go into effect with the June prices today, or we're going to go into effect with the cuts today. and now they're looking at it doesn't matter how much they cut. The price is still not going to go up until we start using it again. And we're not using it. Okay? They're still producing, so the tank is getting fuller. It's about to overflow, and the only thing that's going to help it is when we all go back to work, go back to living, and start using it again. That's when the price is really going to skyrocket, which, again, will probably be sometime in June. So we need those things to happen in order for the RV to happen, for it to even make sense. And that's just the reality of it. So I'm glad you're on top of it. We appreciate you. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to. I'm looking for that May 9th. You know, we've got tomorrow Saturday. We got 2 more Saturdays after that before the 9th. So that'll be kind of a target. Keep on the horizon. It'll all work out. And no matter what shape we find our communities falling in, when this happens, we will be Mr. Moneybags. We will be a very favored person in the community, especially when we start contributing to the community, and it'll be for a good cause, a good reason. Lots of things will happen. Looking forward to that part of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely looking for that. All right. So, guys, let me see. All right, thanks, Danny. I was going to send you guys something this morning. Let me see if I can find it here. Nope, I can't find it now. Anyway, it was April 17th, new billionaires, Forbes list of billionaires, and how the billionaires in the last 10 years or since 2008 have doubled in countries and everything else. How after every catastrophe, which we're going through right now globally, there comes an opportunity out of it, and there are brand new millionaires and billionaires every time. We're looking for it and using it, which some of you guys will be. So I started to send it out, but I thought, maybe it's too much for you guys right now before the call. So I'll send it out a little later during the day. But those are the thoughts that we should be having right now. I've been telling those who have listened for years, and you heard me say it, and I'm going to say it right now. You got to go through it to get to it. You got to go through it to get to it. That's what we're doing. We're going through it all the way at the bottom now. I hope it's the bottom. The worst parts of it to get to it. One thing that's different for you and me than everybody else, and I'm not even going to say in the U.S., I'm going to say in the world. We know what's at the end. Everybody else is still trying to figure it out. Everybody else is in crisis mode, panic mode, saying, what is my life going to be like from this point on? Or what is my life going to be like once they do say, everybody go back to work, everybody go back in the streets? And they got to look and say, I don't have no work to go back to. I don't have an opportunity. We are different. We are those few who said, oh, here it comes. Here comes a new opportunity. Here comes a new life. Here comes our chance to help our community or society and do all those things that we wanted to do, create jobs, create new businesses, and be better for it than we would have been a year ago or 5 years ago. So when I say look at it and be positive, I mean, that's all we should be doing right now, because every day, May the 9th, comes around, we know, and it happens, we're that much closer. June the 1st comes around, or May 29th, because I told you guys, I did tell you guys, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, that federal workers had already been told they weren't going back to work till May 29th. Some of you know that. I said they just weren't telling society because it was too far off. They didn't want all the anxiety and panicking. Oh, my God, this isn't over till May the 29th. They planned that 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, whenever it was I told you guys that. They already knew they weren't going to. Wait, that was in March. And I told you they were already told. I think it was in March. They weren't going back to May 29th. So none of this is anything new, and it's laid out, and we're going through it. But we have a better opportunity than 99% of the people in the world. And that's what we should be excited about and glad saying, okay, I know it's not today, but it's coming, and it's closer than it's ever been. Something's going to happen. But at least we are going to have an opportunity. We are still in the game. That's what counts. All right, Ray, what's next?
Next up
is there anything next? Oh.
610 area code. You're on. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
727 area code. You are on.
Well, good morning, Tony. Good afternoon, Ray.
Hey, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I'm just kind of curious about a couple things. There's been no talk of protesters in the streets.
Okay. Today is the start of Ramadan, or yesterday. So they're doing that along with the curfew has been extended. So we did talk about them on Wednesday, where they were actually on social media saying that at the end of this curfew, they will come back in force. They are letting people know that already.
But nobody's been out on the streets at this point.
There's still tents and things in the square, but it's not the millions or hundreds of people. They came out starting on Monday. I think they were coming out, and one or two of them got killed, 15 of them got injured because they were shooting the protesters on Monday.
So more have died.
Yep.
Tony, when they have, because it really does look like they're going to try to take it till the very end, and even then, I think they'll screw it up. So they're going to end up having to go to new elections. Will it be open elections, or will the blocks be where they were before, where they're going to be vying for positions of control?
Okay, so that's part of the problem. There's supposed to be new elections anyway within a year, but they're saying we can't organize new elections within a year. We don't know how to organize the territories. We don't know how to sign the votes. I mean, there's so many laws and things that we have to write in there in that year in order to do a vote like that. So if they're already saying we can't do that in 1 year, even though the new government's responsibility is to make it happen, how would we think they could get it done in 60 days? Because they won't. You're right. What will happen is it will be total chaos. They won't have a vote in 60 days. They'll keep pushing it out. They won't have a government. They will have to go to the same thing like their prime minister as a caretaker government probably, and which will have no authority or little authority at all. So it will be total chaos, and they're saying they don't want that to happen. So we'll see.
Well, I say at this point in time, first liar doesn't stand a chance. So I think that the opportunity for the truth to come out is slim to none, and seems like it anyway. So I guess the cutoff date now for them to have established the government is the 12th?
No, actually, they said May the 9th. Because I kept saying, I don't know, was it the 9th or the 12th? So the actual date is the 9th.
Okay, so if it's not done by the 9th, which would be the 8th for us, right? It'd be the day before for us?
Day before. We're doing that day, yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, well, then that's really that's where the clock, I guess, the ticking is in progress. So anyway, those are my questions, and I appreciate the clarification for sure. Keep it up.
All right, thank you, sir.
We'll, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Have a
You
good
bet.
weekend.
You bet.
Okay. 619 area code. You're on. 619-717. You're on. Okay. You're off. 718.
That's me.
That's you.
Okay. How are you, Tony, and how are you, Ray? I pray that
I
you're
am
both well.
fantabulous, sir. To the nth degree. And yourself?
Well, I'm good, thank God. Thank God, I'm good. Much better than I was. My question is, I heard you were doing some classes Sunday night. So I just need to know what time and how do I get on, please?
Do you know what they're about?
Yes.
Okay. That's half the battle. It is,
She said, I can keep a secret. Just tell me how to get
well,
on.
it's not a secret, but I just wanted to know if she knew what it was about, so she knew if she really wanted to be on it or not. It's a stock club that we started up.
Yes, I'm aware.
And on Sunday nights, we're talking about stocks for those that want to be in the stock market and do some stock investing. Go to twitter.com / Twitter.com / network shift.
Network.
Shift.
SHIFT?
Yeah, network. Yes, shift. All one word, no spaces.
IFT. Okay.
Right. When you go there, click on follow. So then that way you'll get the tweets. That's the club. That's the stock club. It's called Network. The Paradigm Shift is the name of it. But that's where we have the Twitter account for the stock club. Once you go there, you can see the numbers for the call. Everything's still posted in there, so you can see all of our previous posts. And you'll see the number for the call for Sunday. You'll see the playback number. If you want to listen to the last stock call that was recorded, you can listen to that.
Right, thank you.
And then you can get the number and you can dial in on Sunday and participate.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, do you have your own Twitter account?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have your telephone number in your profile?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
All right. So you should, when we'll tweet out on Sunday a reminder for everybody to get on the call at 8 o'clock. You should get that tweet or that text message if you have your phone already stored in Twitter and you have the SMS turned on. You should get a text message reminding you of it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
And again, thanks for all that you do. And I don't always have money to send, but when I do, I do. So, but it's going to get better.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
It's going to get better. Mm-hmm. Take care.
That's right.
Okay.
Bless you. All right. Bye-bye.
It won't be like this for long.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Somebody wants to know, I sent you a text, even though I know you don't pay attention.
I didn't see it.
Anyway.
Let me see.
Is there any way you
can
send out a test tweet? Because she can't get on or didn't get a tweet or someone didn't get it or something. I don't know if you can resend it or not, even though we're at the end. Just so they'll know
today's call?
The next one. Yeah.
Well, anybody that didn't get it, if you had been getting them, we didn't do anything. There might be a glitch in the system. It could be your service provider. But if you're not getting them now, and if you've been getting them, unless you act like a butthead, then you aren't receiving them anymore either. But if you've been behaving,
you mean unless it's people you deleted? Okay.
Right.
All right.
But for those that are just, hey, I'm not getting the tweets, it has to be something going on with your service provider and Twitter. So sending out a test one will just confuse all the other folks that get text messages. I don't want to just be throwing out a test knowing it's going to go to everyone needlessly. Yes, what's your question?
Somebody saying they're just logging on and doing the same thing as Wednesday, because a bunch of people, I sent you those screenshots, a bunch of people said they couldn't get on Wednesday. Is it too many people on, or because something's just going in circles, it won't load or something for them? Are we too full now?
I don't know. I guess we can try to check with Blog Talk and see if they're having a volume issue, but it's supposed to be unlimited.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people. See those screenshots I sent you last week? So it's the same thing saying they can't get on.
But nobody's sending me that information, so that must just be some of your friends.
Oh, some of my friends. Really? I don't even know these people.
Nobody sending stuff like that to me.
Okay. So
and
you guys
I'm
want to get that issue resolved. That's right. Send it to Ray.
I'm more accessible than you are, so if they send it to you, it's got to be some of your friends. They send it to me. Now, I am getting a message that nobody got the tweet today, or the text. At least that's what some are saying. But it did go through on Twitter.
Oh.
But so if they didn't get the actual text, apparently a lot of people did get that, but I don't know why. We did our part. We programmed it and sent it out, but must be something going on with Twitter. But now, as far as people that can't get on the call now, there's something going on with Blog Talk. So,
yeah, because
I don't know how to try to correct it.
Won't do it.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm getting. So, what's the instructions for getting on Twitter again? 404, what is it?
Well, that doesn't work anymore now. So the best way that I know to tell people for Twitter is you have to have your own Twitter account. Go into settings and profiles, settings and policy. Go into your profile and then go to settings and privacy. Settings and privacy. Then look at the notification section and make sure that you turn on SMS notifications. And make sure that you have a cell phone listed in your profile. And that should do it. Then when we send out a tweet, people that have their telephone numbers in their Twitter accounts receive it as a text message. And that's the way to get it done now. Supposedly the 40404 no longer works. So you have to get a Twitter account and then follow us on Twitter. THE_TNT_TEAM, TEAM. And once that's successful, make sure you go into your profile, settings and privacy, then notifications, and then turn on SMS notifications. And if your number is not already there, it's going to prompt you to add a telephone number so we can send the message to your phone. And that's the way that people are getting it done now, that I'm aware of.
All right.
And
all right,
you know what, before we go to the next caller, let me share something else. Well, maybe I shouldn't just yet, because I don't want us to get swamped. Let me wait and get it ready first, so people that want to respond can respond to it. All right, we'll go to the next caller. Let's see, 636 area code. You are on.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking my call. Appreciate it. Tony, I want to thank you and Ray for the hard work that you guys put in to put these calls together. I know it takes up a lot of time. But that being said, Tony, I was a little concerned about you with having to put in all that work. Have you had any time at all to put your presentation together for your humanitarian projects so that when you go in to get your money, you'll be able to give them your presentation?
Okay, first of all, I don't believe any guy sitting across the desk from me getting paid $15, $20 an hour is going to be able to tell me if my humanitarian project is good enough or not. Okay? I'm trying to add a little levity. Okay. All right, I'm just saying, everybody
if you need help, you can contact you if you need help. You can contact this lady on the website. She'll help you out for $165 an hour. Put your presentation together.
See, and I believe you, because there's somebody out there taking advantage of that. That's why they keep telling you that BS, or they keep putting it out there. Because now somebody's making money off of something you're not even going to need.
Well, I got a couple more for you.
Okay.
Has George Soros and Clinton and Obama and Bush, have they been arrested yet and taken to Gitmo? Are they in Gitmo yet, or are they on the way?
Well, I think they're still on the raft. They took them off the barge and put them on a raft and tied them together. So, the
other one is, I'd like to know all these trafficked kids, these babies and these young kids that they're pulling out of these tunnels in New York and putting them on the boat. Did they make it to the boat?
I never even heard that one. Never.
On a more serious note, here's a couple of things that do bug me. Why can't Maliki just go away? He's like Hillary Clinton. He just can't disappear. He's always got his nose in everything. Why can't they just get rid of him?
Well, for two reasons. If he voluntarily leaves, he goes to jail. And if they kill him, all the people that support him will be a problem in the streets. So they don't want either one of those. They have to get him out the right way, which is through the elections, through the government. Then they can prosecute him. And nobody will say anything, because then they can open up all the files. So long as he's part of Parliament, they can't say what he has done wrong exactly. They can accuse him. They can't jail him. Now, after the fact, they can show everybody, they can show them all the evidence they have, everything else, and nobody can get upset. So they have to wait until that happens. Huh?
Why does Iran have to be part of this parliament? Why don't they just go back to their own country where they belong? Why do they think they have to be part of the Iranian or the Iraqi government? Am I misunderstanding that, or are they insisting on a place in the parliament?
Iran they're insisting on influence, but they're not doing it just because they want to take over Iraq, guys. I mean, and they probably do at this point. They're doing it because they're trying to survive. The U.S. has put all the sanctions on them. They can't do business with any other country. Nobody else will accept their money. Nobody else will do contracts and trade with them because we've cut them off. So that's their lifeline. Without Iraq, they'd be getting nothing. They'd have no money to go and buy other things with. They'd have nobody to import their foods to and drugs so they could get paid. So they're doing it because it's a big guy, Iran, against a little guy, and they're saying, you're going to do what I said do and go get me that money. That's what you're going to do. And that's what they're trying to do so they can keep eating, so their people get. They don't care that Iraq is getting starved out. They don't even care that Iraq is losing influence. Until the day Iraq collapses, they're going to say, you're going to keep feeding us, and then we're going to figure it out from there.
That could go on forever. That could go on forever.
Well, it could go on forever. Listen, if Iraq does what they said the last 2 days, what I told you guys, finally it has come to an end. Finally, guys, we have no choice. Unless we starve ourselves out with them, we've got to change the options. We've got to change the currency. We now realize over the last month and a half that we could sustain ourselves without their food, without their electricity, without theirs, because now we have agreements with Saudi Arabia and Turkey, and we have some more resources. So we're realizing now, wait a minute, we can stand up on our own. We thought we needed them, so we had to do what they said. Now we're finding out we really don't need them. Only our politicians need them because they're just being greedy, collecting the money. But now that it's all starting to come out, being published every day in the papers, that after the virus, things will change. But we know it's going to have to come to an end sooner or later. It can't go on like that forever.
Let's hope so. On a lighter note, how did your Las Vegas Raiders do last night?
They did great. They had great picks. Surprised some people.
Happy on the TV.
Do what?
I say Chucky seemed happy when he was watching him on TV. He seemed happy.
I'm just still hoping that we can get Jalen Hurts in the second round, though, because I like him. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Anyway, find yourself some time, put that presentation together, and thanks for taking the call. Have a good weekend.
All right, sir.
All right, thanks.
Take care.
I was asking somebody out there charging $165 an hour to do that. That's crazy. Anyway, go ahead, Ray.
Hey, if they can get it. All right, 907, area code, you're on.
Well, good morning. Is that me?
That is you.
Okay, well, this is a guy that you were going to call, and you never did, so. But
who?
That's
Ray?
like a lot.
Ray never called him?
No, he never did call. This is the guy that was going to get married. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ray didn't call you. Didn't I call you? I called everybody. I was supposed to call. You're saying Ray didn't call you.
Right. Ray said he was going to call me, but he never did.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I remember saying we need to talk. I remember saying we need to talk, but I was just kind of joking about the prenups and all that stuff. But so I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were really expecting a call. I was just messing around about
another casualty.
We need to talk.
Virus. Yeah, it might be another casualty of the virus because we decided that till all this madness is over, that we'll just be good friends.
Oh, okay.
So that might go by the wayside. But, so you guys are doing okay, both of you?
Yes, sir.
But I want you to know that there's other states besides Georgia. And there's other states besides Texas, and we're 3 times the size of Texas, by the way. And we are coming off of a lot of the restrictions that we've had. And the governor yesterday said, go gas up your big old RV and go out and have fun.
What state are you in?
Alaska.
Oh, yeah. See, well, maybe you misunderstood. You don't want to be put in the same category as Texas and Georgia, period.
No,
okay? So, okay? So if you're coming off and there's nothing going on there, there's cities and there are places that probably maybe that, people feel are actually safe. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me see. This is crazy to me. But I'm looking at it right now in Sacramento County where I'm at. There's 2 million people. So there's 1,019 cases out of 2 million. There's 1,000 people have the virus. 41 have died. So in Sacramento County might say, okay, guys, we shut down 2 million people at 41 deaths. And it says right here, every one of them has been over 65 with underlying health conditions. So it's really not affecting large groups of people here or anything else, but it's totally killing the economy in California, so I can understand it. And Sacramento is different from San Francisco, though, where it could be absolutely crazy and explode in a moment. So if your state is doing one thing, another state is doing something else based on their numbers, I can understand that. What I can't understand in Georgia is their numbers are going up every day, not down, not flat, not anything else. And he's telling people to just go out there anyway. Yeah, the numbers are going up. Let's just see if you're one of them. That's just ridiculous and irresponsible to me.
We had 2 new cases yesterday, and no hospitalizations, no deaths. And I think we've got something like, 257 or something like that total. And half of them have recovered and fully recovered and went home. Now, that being said, a couple months ago, I had the worst thing that I've ever had in my life, I think. I went through all the symptoms except an exceptionally high fever. And I must be a cold fish because normally I run about 95.7. I did get up to about 99 during that time. My doctor, I went over there and I said, hey, give me a antibiotic or something to help this. And she says, it won't get all because what you got is a virus. But at that time, nobody was really connecting the dots, so to speak. And I'm 80 years old, but I also take a lot of supplements, and I try to stay fairly healthy, even though I've only got one leg to do it with. But still, yeah, I think the virus kind of killed the marriage idea for the moment. So getting back to that.
Okay. Sounds like you walked away from the phone. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I toned it down a little bit towards my gun stand up towards my mouth. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, well, I do have a question for, I guess, Tony, but I'm a little bit concerned. I probably won't be jumping trying to get contract rate, but there's going to be people like Tony with a whole bunch of this dinar and stuff, maybe rushing in ahead of me, and once the contract rate's money's gone, it's gone. But is there any kind of a limit or something to keep the big whales? Sorry, Tony. But anyway.
Okay, but I hear your concern, but this is it. That's why they put limits to how much each person can get. Instead of giving one guy all of it. Like right now, you know, the big corporations are getting all this money from this, the $20 million, the $10 million, that, where the small businesses, they're telling them they already ran out of money. How is that fair? It's not. So to make sure that doesn't happen in this, there's limits. They don't care how much you have. You can still only get the contract rate at $20 million.
Okay.
That way it can be spread out across to everybody.
And that's not 20 million dinar. That's 20 million U.S. currency.
No, that's 20 million dinar. You can only get the contract rate on 20 million dinar.
That's going to be a lot of loot.
Right, but understand this. If there's 10 million people who have dinar, 9 million of them have less than $1 million dinar. It's just not those numbers like we think, guys. Probably 950,000 of them have less than $1 million dinar, or have 1 million dinar, and that's it. The average person doesn't have 10, 20, 100 million dinar.
Okay,
that's just not out there.
What if a person, say, has only 100,000 dinar? Can he ask for the contract rate?
You can ask for it, absolutely. I don't know if you're going to get it, but you can ask for it. You're supposed to ask for it.
Yeah, that was at one time what they said they were going to do is give the small guys.
That's what they wanted to do. Spread it around. But here's the other thing. Guys in the committee guys said that. They'd rather give it to all the little guys. But the banks also know all the little guys will spend it in 90 days. If you got 100,000 and you end up with 2 million or 28.50 apiece, and you're broke in 90 days, 6 months, because you bought $1 million house and a couple Bentleys, and then you got 50 people in your family that all need this, and that, and now you're broke, and the bank just wasted their money.
Well, I won't be.
Well, it was your money, but still, they want to give it to somebody else and invest it where they can get a benefit out of it, which makes good business sense too.
Well, it does, but I'll I'll get rid of mine in about 60 days, and I'll have a brand new Tesla sitting on the driveway.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You too.
Bye.
All right, sir. 786. You're on.
Hi, this is Percy in Florida. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Good afternoon, fellas. Good morning. Thank you for all that you guys do. I just had a couple questions, piggybacking off a few of the ones before. I'm hearing that there's going to be only a few, between the days or hours. Should you set 2 appointments, or should you do it all in one? The only idea behind doing 2 would be either one for personal and one for humanitarian, or one for the early rate, and say if it's going to be a 2-week window, one for later on, when it's going to be a different rate.
Okay. I don't see the difference between personal and humanitarian, because if you have money that you want to put in a humanitarian project, you're going to do that all at the same time so you can get the rate and say there's a project that you want to go into. I don't personally see you needing 2 different appointments. So You're going to try and do everything you can at one appointment. There's 10 million or more people going through. They're not going to set you up with 2, 3, 4 different appointments to do exchanges.
Okay. And as far as humanitarian stuff, like you said, nobody's going to do the 100. That's just criminal, $165 an hour. But like you said, if you can get it, get it. But what do you need as far as EIN or proof or anything else for the different rates?
EIN, you're saying, as proof?
I'm saying, what do you need is for, like you don't need a project, a huge PowerPoint, because you're going to be making $25 an hour or whatever. But what do you need as far as information?
I don't think, and I'm telling you guys, now, the only place the humanitarian project was going to be used was with the Zim. So understand this. Nobody cares about the dong, the dinar, anything else, whether you have a humanitarian project or not. Now, with the Zim, you'll have to submit a humanitarian project. It's going to have to be submitted over to Zimbabwe. They're going to have to approve it for you to get that. It's going to take 90 days to 6 months before any of that happens. Now, with the bonds, it had to go over to Europe because they're the ones paying out on that where you get the high rate, and they're going to have to prove it. Nobody sitting there at that bank is going to tell you this project is good, I'm going to give you $5 per Zimbabwe, $500 million. Not going to happen. Because it's just ridiculous for them to even put that lie out there to you. What has happened, somebody kept saying that. Let me talk. Somebody has said that. They put out there that you have to be part of their group. You have to submit it to them. And now I'm figuring they done set somebody up to get $165 an hour or something for you guys to fill out applications that nobody at any exchange location is going to say, give me your application. I'm going to look over it and decide here in the next 20 minutes how much money I'm going to give to you, or if I'm going to give it to you at all, based on some project you want to do somewhere in the world, Zimbabwe or the U.S., that they have no background experience or knowledge about. Yet you think this guy sitting over here who are doing the numbers is going to be able to approve your project. I mean, who does that even make sense to? Nobody.
I mean the rate.
Absolutely nobody. Do what?
I mean rates, not approval, but I mean to do the different rates, the humanitarian rates versus like different days.
Well, that's what he's approving is the rate. He has to approve your project to give you the rate. That's what I'm telling you is not going to happen. Who's going to give this guy that kind of authority when he's making $15 an hour, $20 an hour? He's not an investment banker. He's not a wealth manager. He doesn't decide how to spend $100 million now. That's not his job. But he can decide if your plan is good enough to spend an extra $100 million or $200 million. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's what I was saying. You set 2 appointments, one for the personal one, and then when you have a sit-down, longer conversation.
You've already done your exchange. Okay, I don't know. Just try it. I'm telling you guys, that doesn't make sense. You're going to get what the rates are there. Nobody there is going to decide if your project is worth more or less. Who's going to give him that authority to spend the Treasury's money? Doesn't make any sense to me. But go ahead with it. And nobody has told me that.
My other question is for EMD. Do you think it's going to be hours, days, weeks, months? What are the impingements on that conversion in regards to the IQD?
It's going to be hours, days, or months before what?
The change from the IQD and then when the rates announced for the VND. Days, weeks, hours, months?
It's going to happen at the same time.
Same day.
They're not going to give you that type of advantage. They're not going to do the dinar on Monday and give you millions and millions of dollars and then tell you that the VND is going Friday or is going in 2 weeks. And now you got millions and millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and everybody can run to the bank and buy all the VND they want. That's never, ever going to happen. Never. We already know the 7 currencies that are in the basket. They're all going together. Nobody's going to give you $100,000 or $1 million and then tell you when the next investment is or what the next investment is. Again, everybody knows that just doesn't make sense. And how could they do that? How could it even be worth that? How could everybody, 10 million people who just made $50,000 not know that the VND is going on Friday or next week and go put all $50,000 into it and turn it into $500 million or $5 billion? Because that's what would happen. Everybody would go start buying it instantly, and the price would go up before the RV even got here. That's not going to happen.
That's why some people are talking about having the second day or a second time when you having the second appointment. But you could risk that.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That won't work. It's not going to work like that. Let's have the RV on Monday, okay? Let's let the rate come out at 361. You spent $1,000, and now you got $3.6 million because you spent $1,000 buying the dinar. Now I got $3.6 million. Tony goes on his call and says, guys, the RV was today. The VND is going on Friday. I talked to the bank. They said that's the next day. They're gearing up for it. Next one. You take $1 million of that because you're a smart guy. You go put it in the VND, and it's worth $2 because that's going to be the contract rate. You just made $200 billion. But guess what? So did everybody else listening to that call. 140,000 other people or 1 million reviews by the end of the week all got the same information you did. Can you possibly see that working at all? No. I can answer it for you. No.
Change daily.
Do what?
And do one Thursday. Because the rates are changing.
It's not I can't understand what you're saying.
All right. No problem. I thank you, fellas.
All right, sir.
Your phone was cutting out too bad. I couldn't understand it. But guys, believe me, I'll give you another scenario and another one. We've been doing this for 14, 15 years. The government knows where the money is. We know where the money is. Everybody knows the order. I can't even think of anybody trying to tell you guys that these things are going to come out at different dates or different times when we already know what's in this basket and how it's going to be affected. When we already know the rates and everything else. To think that anybody is going to give you $1 million and then tell you that the Vietnamese dong or the rupiah or the Lira or any of them are coming out in the next 4 or 5 days, because we didn't want to do them all the same day and think everybody's not going to be at the bank and buy every one of those currencies. Millions of dollars worth, because now they got $3-4 million sitting in their bank. What's next, Trey? It's crazy.
I noticed where some folks drop off after they get their question answered, and they gonna miss something. All right, next call is 707.
And maybe they don't understand they're not supposed to. Okay? Anyway, all right. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Okay. I just thought I heard Ray say that the 40404 is no longer working. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Oh, I wonder why I didn't get the message this morning, and so I just dialed into the number and got on the call. But
No.
Okay
What I
with
meant
me.
what I meant by that was we can no longer tell people to dial 40404 to get hooked up to start receiving text messages. Now, those that were already in the system working, that's, to my knowledge, that's still working, but quite a few people did not get their text message today. But I don't know why that is.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get mine, and that's so. When I woke up, not really, but when I realized that I had missed the beginning of the call, I just dialed a live talk radio and got in.
Right.
But I didn't realize that something had happened to my normal text message. So
apparently,
next time
something prevented a lot of folks from getting the text today. Now, the tweet went out. And those that have Twitter see it in their Twitter account, but it just didn't go to their phone to alert them.
Okay. So next Monday, I'll probably get it, right?
Hopefully so.
You can't tell the future?
Well, I mean, and I don't control that part. If I controlled it, I would tell you, oh, yes, you're going to get it. But, we send it out, but it's up to Twitter and your phone carrier how those two are communicating for you to actually receive it.
Okay. No, I was just kidding with you, but because I thought you knew everything.
Well,
so, thank you. Thanks for the information.
I kind of do, but I don't really want everybody to know.
If I don't get it, I'll dial in like I did today.
All right, sir. Good luck with it. All right.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, here's some of the advantages for hanging on to the end of the call. Tony, when I shared with you about the stock thing that we were doing, I guess because you'd already been there and done that, you didn't really give it a whole lot of attention for it to stick on your brain. So we up and running with Robinhood, and you had to kind of play catch up with that. So I'm going to hit you down square between the eyes right now while you're listening with something new. A new development has happened. And, guys, while we're waiting for the big one, the RV, it's let's be productive. Let's be proactive. Let's do, whatever we can to keep moving forward while we're waiting. So we're just not sitting here waiting for a date and rate. And we've been pushing that for you guys for years now, with education, being ready at the exchange, being ready post-exchange, being ready for your new lifestyle. All of those, and even now with the new situations that we're dealing with, looking at other avenues for income while you're waiting. Tony started pushing, hey, the market, folks are making money in the market while these two situations are taking place, the oil wars and the coronavirus. And some of you started listening to that, and from that grew the stock club, because, hey, here's an opportunity that normally doesn't exist to jump on the stock market in a situation where, for most intents and purposes, it's coming back because we know why it went down. So they gave us an edge, if you will, an advantage. So it made us jump into that, and because I knew myself, along with a lot of others, don't have a history of playing the stock market, we had to learn it. And we wanted to start learning that, and we used this one platform to practice and learn and communicate. And so the Stock Club was created for that purpose. Well, something new developed, and it's a change in the regulations for private placement investments, PPIs. Generally, when the members heard me reference it on our training calls on Open Mic, it was always a post-RV. You want to look into private placement opportunities. This gives you what I call a founder's stock position. You get to be investing in companies before they go public. So you know if anybody's making money on IPO day, it's the ones that got in before it went public, not the ones that bought it on IPO day. Now, hopefully they made money, but the founder stock person, there's no question they made money. But it was a post-RV activity for me to try to take some of us into. Well, I'm just learning due to some government regulation changes. You don't need $25,000 to jump into PPI activity now. You can go in with as little as $50. That's a game changer. The foreign currencies, we started looking at other currencies that were affected because of coronavirus, not the ones for the RV, because that's always our baby. But we started looking at some other currencies that their values went down a little, not 1,000% like the dinar, 30%, 20%. So we've been looking at those since mid-March and tracking them every day. And this is what I've put together a video, a webinar, and we called it Fast Money 2020 because it was short and fast money. We were looking for the virus thing to be over May, June at the latest. We looked at some currencies that the government was doing currency swaps. So that said, hey, these countries should be pretty safe to play with, so to speak, to invest rather. And we had a list of 8 or 9 of them, but 3 or 4 ranking up in the top percentile, 20%, 30%. This is return on your money. Looking for this to happen by June at the latest. So this gave us another perspective on how here's some other foreign currencies that we can tap into for short, fast money while we're still waiting for the RV. Now, that means it's a different type of investing. The RV, those currencies, you putting that money there, it's tied up. You're waiting. But these other currencies that we started looking at, we jumped into those electronically so that at any time we wanted to pull out, you could just spend the money that you have on the account. An entirely different phenomenon. So that's the Fast Money 2020 program that we actually started doing before we jumped on the stock program. Because once we started manipulating the Fast 20 deal and started learning how to calculate percentages, then we looked at, hey, the stock. Let's look at some stocks that are affected because of the coronavirus in Saudi Arabia, Russia. When those two issues no longer exist, these stocks, in theory, should just go back to where they were in February. So here's a way to play that market, and that's what started the Stock Club. And so we are running 2 different perspectives, a short-term perspective to make this fast money in the stock market by June or around June, hopefully, however long it takes, and then long-term for those that are looking to receive dividends quarterly for years to come. The foreign currency short money, fast money 2020, 38% was the highest return that we calculated on a given day getting that currency. And that particular currency was the Mexican peso. So some of us have hold peso for that reason, so that we can see a 38% return on our money somewhere around June or July. I mean, May, June. So that was the 20%, 30% activity. Then we started looking at the stocks. And some of these stocks, once we started learning how to calculate the gain on these stocks, when they come back to where they were just in February, is what we're looking at. From February, when they started going down, to when they come back up. Some of these stocks, we were 100% gain, 150% gain, then some were 200% gain. We looked at some that even as much as 400, 500% gain on the money when it comes back. Still also looking at just what the stock market is in general, because some people naturally want to get in the stock market and stay. Some of us just want to get in, make this fast hustle, get back out. So we're doing a number of things as we're learning and making it available for whosoever. Get in wherever you fit in. That's the phrase of the information that we're sharing. Now here comes the bombshell. Because I learned of this $50 entry for PPI now. You don't have to be a $25,000 person. This is a new venture now that we're going to start and learn that industry. Now, I'm going to put together a training piece on it. And some of the already proven returns from founder stock position to where those companies are today, not 30%, not 500%, not even 5,000%. They're upwards of 100,000% and higher from the founder stock position to where those companies currently are today, if you had invested in them back then. Now, of course, the trick now is to find startups that are going to possibly do the same thing a year or two into the future, or possibly even faster. So, again, we're rolling the wheels now. We're going to start learning another industry, if you will. It's in the stock investing range, but it's before it even becomes a stock. And before, all of this was private information, and it still is to a degree. You just can't go on the internet and find these types of companies. But there are people that share that information. We're going to start a learning curve on this. Notice I didn't say an investing piece, but a learning curve for those who want to learn about that particular industry and look at what's there for us now as well as even post-RV. So with that being said, for those who have an interest in wanting to learn that information, twitter.com/founder stock is the name of the Twitter account that I'll be sending information out to whoever follows on that Twitter account for that type of information. Twitter.com/founder stock. If you want to be kept up to date with what's happening there, if you want a piece of that action, at least the educational action, and that's all we're going to be doing is education and learning about founder stock positions. This is what I call them, but they're basically private placement investments. But no money will be spent there, so if you want to hook up and learn, then you get in wherever you fit in and do what comes natural. So, Tony, that's your invitation. Go to twitter.com/founder stock and hit follow if you want to follow and know what's going on.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Because I didn't know he was going to do this, so you said after that. So I'm going to do something a little bit different, though. But I got to tell you guys this thing. All right? So you understand. He is going to teach you the basics, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all basic stuff. Right. Yeah, we don't have any professionals
and
that's
explain
going to
to you
anything.
Yeah, and get you raw. And actually, he's not even teaching it to you. I mean, you guys are going to discuss it and and learn
Right.
together.
We're going to share what we learned. Right.
To put it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you this, because I've already done this. What you guys are just figuring out, I've already done. I've already been in IPOs, pre-IPOs, and while they all sound great, and the opportunity is great, I'm telling you, before you even get started, there is more of them out there, penny stocks, dollar stocks, companies, who will hype their pre-IPO, because that's the only way they can get their money.
Right.
And a bunch of you will never make a dime off of them. I'm just telling you. Because they'll go through, and this is how IPO works. They have to put a group together. They have to do what we call road shows, and they'll go from city to city, meeting to meeting, investor to investor, tell them what their great plan is to take this company public, and they'll start collecting checks here, checks there, and in the end, there's a show that they put on, and then a penny stock goes up 5 cents and comes back down, falls below a penny, and it sits there for the next 5-10 years. I know, I've seen it, which means all those people lost their money, but the guys who put it together made a lot of money just at a nickel a share. Depends on how many shares they sold. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of that out there. But now if you're learning for free, which you need to do, okay, learn for free, go out to pick them out. The best way for you to get involved in an IPO, especially, well, maybe not today, but when you guys have your money, is to go through your bank. Because legitimate IPOs that are getting set up, they have a bank that is financing them, at least 0.25%, whatever, bringing investors in. I want to go through my bank and do it, not a broker, not some guy in the street calling me saying, hey, I just found this company and they want to go public and they bought their pink sheet already and they're going to do this and that. Because I don't know any of them. Opportunity sounds great. Industry sounds great. But I don't know you, and I don't know if it's the show or the real deal. But if I'm going through Chase, Wells Fargo, something, they've legitimately put together, and now they're offering me an opportunity to get in at pre-IPO, because I can tell you guys that's where the money is, pre-IPO. Then I'm doing it because I'm feeling secure, and this bank is backing it, and they're backing my money. So nothing's wrong. You should be learning the process anyway, good, bad, and indifferent, because when you're sitting across from somebody, then you know what you're talking about. You know what they're talking about. You know the acronyms. You know what a pink sheet is. You know what a penny stock is. You know how much it could go in. You know your A stock from your B stock. You know, those are things you need to know if you're going to get involved anyway. So, yes, you should be learning them. And it's not like learning it together. But you should also be aware there are some pitfalls out there. But I'm telling you right now, because I've been there, done that, lost money doing it, lost money. But I didn't get mad because I said, okay, like I do whenever I lose money, and I do lose money like everybody else, but I just say, hey, that was the price of my education. I never get mad, vengeful, nothing. Okay, I learned a lesson today. It cost me $30,000, cost me $50,000, whatever it cost me, but okay, I learned a lesson. I won't make that mistake again. I'm trying to tell you, don't make that mistake to start with, okay? Learn the game, enjoy what you guys are going to do, and get it together. So I'm not going to be there. I can tell you already. Ray's going to be there, and he's going to help you guys learn this and do whatever you guys do. But no, there are some pitfalls whenever you're talking about money. Don't invest anything you can't lose. I tell everybody all that.
That's
and
right.
Be wise in making your decisions. Be wise in making your decisions. I don't care how much it is, but try to do your homework first. That's all. Okay. So, yeah, I didn't know you guys were doing that, but there's still some things. Okay, good idea. It's a good opportunity to learn.
All right.
Okay, is that it?
All right, sir. That's it for today.
Okay. All right, guys, that was a lot right there at the end. It was kind of unexpected because he did blindside me. Or I would have went over this first. But anyway, it's a good day. We are absolutely moving forward as far as the RV and everything that's concerned. Hopefully they'll surprise us over the weekend and come out with a decision. If not, we know things are still good. It's still a great day. So I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. Enjoy the rest of your day because I'm surely going to enjoy mine. Enjoy your weekend because we are headed forward. And if nothing else, buy more. Now's the opportunity. It's down to $38 per million, she says. I mean, how can you beat that? You don't do anything else. Spend $38 a day to get richer. Because that's how you got to look at it. You're going to spend it anywhere, somewhere. McDonald's, Burger King, restaurant. You're going to order something. Some of y'all can go out and buy a couple gallons of ice cream, party. $38 knowing that million could bring me another $2 million. That's what I would do. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. That's what I'm going to do. All right, Ray.
All right, ladies and gents, that's pretty much it for now. And enjoy your weekend. We shall return Monday unless something exciting happens over the weekend. So in the meantime, in between time, keep believing, as we sure do.